Happy Monday. We got an 11 game slate. Let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back with another full week of baseball. That's right. I'm excited to talk some seam again. Ryan is back with the editing. Life is good again. But we had a profitable weekend. It was a small profitable weekend, but it's been a nice little run. I think it's like 5 of the last 6 winning days or 4 or 5 or something. So hopefully we can kind of carry that momentum into this week and get on a nice roll. We'll go over that recap in just a little bit, but a quick reminder, the NBA Best Bets video is already out for the 2-game slate. Be sure to check that out. So you guys know any graphics you see are from an app called OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click that link below, you get a 7-day free trial. So here we go. Let's get it started on a Monday. I know Mondays are tough. I got a good fun fact here. So here we go. Joe Sewell, you know him, holds the record for the lowest K rate in MLB history. He averaged 1K every 73 plate appearances. That's impressive. He still holds the record for most games without a strikeout at 115. That's pretty good. That's 115 consecutive games. And a quick bonus stat for him, he's not still playing. He only whiffed 114 times in 8,333 plate appearances in his 14-year career. He played from 1920 to 1933. That's insane. You don't see that anymore, that's for sure. But anyways, in this video, we're going to recap that weekend, and then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups today, and then give you the full pitcher, or give you the pitcher K matchup, and then the full pitcher report. And then, of course, we will end it with the best bets and the bets recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, we're getting oh so close to 40,000 subscribers. Come hit that subscribe button, join this awesome community. But it's time. Let's get that baseball journey started. And that means it's recap time. All right, here is the full weekend recap. You know, a bet that really helped us was pitcher props. We went 4-1 on pitcher props this weekend, but this could have been so much better. But either way, still, we'll take any sort of profit we can over a weekend. Quintana, easy win there. Oh, should have been an easy win. He got pulled after the 16th out, even though he had low pitches. Cubs money line, never a chance. Meyer over 17 F outs. That was an easy winner there. Over 8.5 St. Louis, Washington. Thank goodness St. Louis brought the bats because it was like 10-0 game, but still, we went over. And then Stephen Kwan, Neto, whatever you say. Neto, I broke his 14-game hitting streak, so you are welcome on that one. But Kwan did get a hit. And then Saturday, Braves won a game they did not deserve to win. They played terrible. Their offense looks like crap, and they still won a game because the Pirates didn't want to win either. Tyler McGill under 17.5 outs. Easy winner there. Under 7. Well, the Royals did their job, but Boston went nuts on Cole Reagans in this bullpen. They scored like 10, so that was a loss. And then this one killed me. It was a 1-unit play. Mariners team total over 3.5. The line was 4.5 by the time of the first pitch came. They had 3 runs in 4 innings. They had 4 different chances where one stinking single would have got us a cash. And they did not get the job done. They went scoreless the last 5 innings and end on 3. As a bettor, that hurt. As a Mariners fan, that really hurt. As we get swept by the Blue Jays, maybe the old Mariners are back. But anyways, Sunday. 2-1 day, we will take that any time on a Sunday, that's for sure. Any day, really. Over 11 Padres, Rockies. How about the Rockies? They were the one that carried us as they finally won a game and crushed the Padres. Sale Gore, K's parlay, that got the job done. And then Tyler Anderson was added play. I wish I didn't. Under 17.5 outs, he just struggled throughout most of that game. He only went 5 innings, so we got the loss there. It was the only pitcher prop loss we had. So either way, like I said, the first 2 months can be tough, but right now we are 102 and 102. Down 3.58 units. I'm feeling good about this week as more data comes in, so let's get some winners. But that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk the hitter matchups. All right, we got 12 good hitter matchups for you today, starting with Gleyber Torres versus Tanner Houck, 7 for 21. Adama, 7 for 19 with a couple of bombs off Merrill Kelly. And then go down the list. You got Christian Yelich, 5 for 14 with a home run off of Ben Lively. Isaac Paredes, 3 for 10, starting to swing a little bit better. And then over there on the right side, another guy swinging it pretty well lately is Christian Walker of the Astros, 5 for 8 with a home run versus Michael Wacha. And then you see my boy Julio, 3 for 8, and Xander Bogaerts, 3 for 8 with 2 home runs off the lefty Yusei Kikuchi. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. Lamont Wade, 6 for 35 with 6 Ks, but that's not anything compared to Eugenio Suarez, 4 for 25 with 14 strikeouts off of Justin Verlander. That is not good, that's for sure. And then Rosarena, 2 for 18. Ketel Marte, 2 for 16. All the way down the list, you see Matt Olson, who's struggling this year as well, 1 for 10 with 4 Ks off of Jake Irvin. So That's what we got for the hitter matchups. And now let's talk some strikeouts. All right, we only got one good pitcher strikeout matchup. If you're new to the channel, what I like to do here is I give you the highest strikeout pitchers, or at least some of them, versus high strikeout teams. We only got one of those matchups in this one. Doesn't mean automatic bet, but Michael King versus Angels. Angels, second highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks, 27.5%. It has not been pretty. King, we know, is a stud, 48 Ks in 44.2 innings. He's coming off a 2 strikeout game, but before that, 6+ Ks in 4 straight starts. Ridiculously higher K rate at home. How about a 34.9% compared to just 15.3 on the road? That's insane. Obviously, still in the second month, smaller sample sizes, but that's pretty impressive. And then slightly higher K rate versus lefties, 28.4 compared to 25% versus righties. So good numbers versus both of them. But that's the only pitcher strikeout matchup we have. And now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, these are the first 6 matchups of the day. All the averages are on the bottom. Just to kind of give you something to compare to, we got expected ERA, Ks, walks, hits per 9. The goal of these is really just to give you all the numbers, to kind of help you with your betting, to help you with your day. Obviously, I know you guys don't have a ton of time to do this, but we start with Freddie Peralta versus Ben Lively. Peralta hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs in any start. He's been solid this year, giving up 4 or less hits in 6 of the last 8. And then Ben Lively, he's just whatever to me. He's not a very good pitcher. 4.5 expected ERA. He's been hit and miss, giving up 3+ earned runs in 4 starts, 1 or less earned runs in 4 starts, but just 28 Ks in 41.2 innings. Tanner Houck, who has mightily struggled, as we talked about all season, going up against the rookie Jackson Jobe, who's been struggling a little bit last couple starts. 4.88 ERA now. Both guys do not miss many bats this year. And then Matthew Liberatore, coming off his best start, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run with 8 Ks versus the Pirates. Does it count because it's the Pirates? I don't know. 2 or less earned runs in 5 straight starts facing the Phillies. One of the better offenses in the league lately, obviously, but they are coming off a Sunday night baseball and now have to travel back home. So Paul Skeens, we know what he can do. His K rate is down, though. It's human, like 24.7. It was much higher last year, but still, limiting runs, 2.77 ERA, great command, just a stud. Going up against David Peterson, who's had a great year as well. He is due for a little negative regression, but still, average K rate, been pretty good at home as well. So Jake Urban versus Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock's been solid. I don't know how long this can last. He's missing more bats. Still has some command issues, so we'll see what happens there. But 2.74 ERA, 3.03 expected. And then Cal Quantrill is absolutely horrendous. I mean, 7.11 ERA. It has not been pretty. He is getting hit everywhere. He did okay last start versus the Dodgers, which was a little surprising. But other than that, giving up around 12 hits per 9, it has not been good. And Colin Ray, a 2.43 ERA, but you can see as a 4 expected ERA. Another guy. We have a ton of guys today that are just kind of average to below average on K rate, but he does have good command, 5.7% walk rate. So that's what we got for the first 6 matchups. Now let's take a look at the last 5. You got the rookie Dollander with a very high ERA. I don't know if they're going to demote him at some point, but it has not been pretty for him. 10% walk rate. Going up against Tyler Mahle. Let's face it, he's pitching like a Cy Young candidate this year. Can he hold this all year? Probably not, but he's pretty good right now. 1.48 ERA. Does have a 9% walk rate, but he's just limiting hits, 5.7. He's done pretty good at limiting the hard hits, which is where it's at. Michael Wacha versus Gusto. Both have good ERAs, both similar numbers, surprisingly, actually. Gusto has not been terrible this year, higher K rate. So pretty decent matchup there. But Yusei Kikuchi versus Michael King, we'll talk about that one later. And then Clark Schmidt versus the now struggling Seattle Mariners. Schmidt and Hancock are just 2 pitchers that can be hit around. I mean, that's for sure. Especially Hancock. He does not miss many bats. 11.4 hits per 9. We've seen that. Both pretty high whips as well. So, and then we end it with Merrill Kelly, who's had a decent season. Nothing special. Right around that 4 ERA, 4 expected ERA. So on and so on, going up against the 40-year-old Justin Verlander, who has righted the ship a little bit after a terrible start to the season. So that's what we got for the full pitcher report, and now it's time for the best bets. This first one takes us out to San Diego, where the Fathers host the LA Angels. Padres moneyline -225, Angels on the moneyline +185, with a total of a low 7 runs. I got a little same game parlay here. So here we go. Michael King, 6+ Ks, and the Padres on the moneyline, -120 on DraftKings. When you put these together, half unit play for me here. So let's talk King first. Well, I mean, we'll talk as much as we can about him. We just talked about him in the pitcher strikeout matchups for those that fast forward through all that stuff. What are you doing? No, really, though. That's where all the details are. I'll just say a few things. He has 6+ Ks in 4 of the last 5 starts. 7+ Ks in 3 of the last 5. He had a 13 strikeout game versus Cleveland. If you guys don't know, this guy's nasty, especially when he's really on. This guy can give double-digit Ks, no problem. Like I mentioned, also, he has a way higher K rate at home, and he's facing the Angels. Second highest K rate versus righties in the last 3 weeks, 27.5%. Just faced 3 straight righties that have very low K rates. I mean, they just do not strike out a lot of guys. But Eflin still got 5 Ks. Kyle Gibson, who's not good at all, 4 Ks, and Sugano has had 5 Ks. So that's a lot for those 3 starting pitchers. For the previous 5, though, before that had 6+ Ks. Chris Bassett Hound, 6 Ks. Barrios, 9 Ks. Reese's Pieces Olsen, 8 Ks. And Jack Flaherty, 8. So this is a team where if he's on, he could get 9, 10 Ks here. His line is now 7.5. It was 6.5, and then he got really heavily juiced. But I don't need 8. I just need 6 Ks here. And then the second leg, Padres money line. I don't think I need to tell you why I think the Padres will beat the Angels. It's pretty standard here, but with a way better starting pitcher. But let's talk about it. Michael King, obviously one of the best starting pitchers in the league, giving up 2 or lesser earned runs in 6 of his 8 starts. Elite .919 whip. I love to see low whips. It means there's not a lot of base runners on the path. So only 1 earned run allowed in the last 24.2 innings at home. That's pretty dang impressive. And then Yusei Kikuchi, it's been a struggle for him. We've talked about that. His command just isn't there this year. Kind of all over the place. 11% walk rate about. Gets behind hitters a lot. Almost a 1.5 whip. It's just kind of been the opposite. But I will say, last 2 starts, he's been a little better at home. It was at home versus Detroit and Toronto. But he did give up 10 total hits with 11 Ks in 10 innings. But he does have a 5.19 ERA when he's on the road with a 2.70 average against. So he's now leaving the comfy confines of LA and going to San Diego. And this Padres offense will be a tougher challenge. If you look at the offenses, we know the Padres, it's hard to really tell by the numbers for them because they've had a lot of health issues. Arias was out, Jackson Merrill was out. They're finally healthy now. Those 4 guys with Tatis and Machado are now in the lineup. Righties should do a lot of damage here. I think anybody can do a lot of damage here, but I think the righties, especially Kikuchi, giving up a 277 average against and a 453 slugging to righties, really struggling. And then the Angels on offense, we know. Second lowest WRC plus in the league. King should get a ton of Ks if he gets into any jams. LA has the 6th lowest walk rate, 2nd lowest OPS, etc., etc. They are not good. And then we go to the bullpens, maybe the number 1 bullpen versus the dead last bullpen. I mean, Angels, I don't know if they're as bad as the Nats and Rockies, but they are right there in the bottom 3, bottom 5. And then the Padres are top 3 easily. I mean, they are loaded. Didn't use a ton of arms yesterday. Last 2 games actually been blowouts in Colorado, so they still got some high leverage arms. I like this same game parlay. Give me King, 6+ Ks, and the Padres on the money line as my first best bet. All right, this next one takes us out to Philadelphia, where the Phillies host the St. Louis Cardinals. Phillies on the money line, -188. Cardinals on the money line, +158 with a total of 8 runs. I told you guys we're going to take some shots with some underdogs this year. It's been pretty profitable so far. Cubs let us down last time, but we're doing it again. Give me the Cardinals on the money line, +158 on FanDuel for a half unit here. So one of the things I look at when I look at the first games of series and as teams start to travel and move to the next one is the spot. And I love the spot here. So the Phillies are in one of the bigger fade spots in the past couple of years. It doesn't mean it's a lock or anything like that. It's just one of the spots you want to look at when they're coming off a late night Sunday night baseball game, having to travel back anywhere really. But they just won 3-0 in Cleveland. Now traveling back to Philly. Cardinals just right next to Philadelphia, honestly, in Washington, D.C., just played the Nats. So a much better spot here for St. Louis to start out. And then the second thing, starting pitcher matchup. I like what I've seen from Matthew Liberatore so far. The lefty has been solid. He's being underrated a little bit. He's given up 2 or less earned runs in 5 straight starts. That's right. He gives his team a chance to win 2 or less earned runs. When you're holding a +158 ticket and you got a pitcher who, has been as good as he is, not saying he's guaranteed to do that again, but if he's going to give up 2 runs again, we're going to have a chance to win this. So one of those starts was against the same Phillies team. He threw 6 innings, struck out 7, and gave up only 3 hits. So he's got an elite .95 whip. I keep talking about whip because it's very important. You don't want base runners on. If you do give up a home run, you don't want 2 or 3 guys on. But just 5 hits allowed in his last 10 innings. And then some more stats just to kind of show you how good he's been. 84th percentile in expected ERA, 95th percentile in walk rate, 81st percentile in chase rate, just to show you these hitters are not seeing his ball very well. He's just been flat out a good pitcher. Let's just face it. And then we go against Christopher Sanchez, the lefty. I'm not going to sit here and bash him because I think he's a good pitcher. He really is. He's given up 2 or less earned runs in 5 straight starts also, including a game he played against the same Cardinals offense. And guess what? He got a little lucky. He left 90% of his runners that he got on base. He left them there. He gave up 8 hits with 2 walks. So he gave up 10 base runners. They did get to him, and he does struggle a little bit more with righties. 257 average, 410 slugging. Cardinals should have about 6, maybe 7 righties in the lineup that can get to him. And so offenses, if you just kind of look at it, Cardinals last few weeks have been getting better. 14th highest WRC plus versus lefties. And what I love is they have the highest walk rate in the league at 13.7%. Phillies last few weeks versus lefties, 10th highest WRC plus and batting average, 8th best OPS. So they've been a little bit better than St. Louis. So I would give this slight advantage to them. But again, this is kind of one of those flat spots where you see offenses kind of just not hit the ball well, whether it's a big travel day or coming off Coors Field or just any of those kind of fade spots that you look at. But bullpen here, I don't see a big difference. Honestly, I'm not a huge Phillies bullpen fan. Romano and Alvarado also were just used yesterday. Maybe they throw again. I didn't actually check if they threw 2 days ago as well. So there's a couple arms, but you still got Matt Strahm. But this Cardinals bullpen is not exactly terrible or anything like that. So overall, I love the spot here for the Cardinals. We're getting Liberatore, who's been really as solid as Sanchez has been, and we're getting plus 158. This value to me is just too good to pass up. And again, I had some people say, what kind of bet was that with the Cubs money line last time? Guys, we're taking shots on some underdogs. You have to take some plus money spots. Baseball will still make you look dumb, even on minus 130 bets sometimes. So we're going to take a shot here. I like it. Give me the Cardinals money line as my second best bet. This final one takes us out to Seattle, where the Mariners host the New York Yankees. Yankees on the money line minus 134. Mariners on the money line plus 114 with a total of 8.5 runs. How many of you guys already rolled your eyes and said, oh gosh, he's betting on the Mariners again? I don't think I can do it. I'm fading him. Give me the Yankees team total over 4.5 runs at plus 100 on DraftKings. This is a half unit play for me here. So Emerson Hancock is the starting pitcher for the Mariners. This is going to be a tough one. Let's talk Hancock first. Giving up 2+ earned runs in all 5 starts. So, I mean, this guy is going to, his floor is 2 earned runs. But again, he's facing the Yankees now. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But 4 or less Ks in 4 or 5 starts. You're going to see a lot of bat on ball because this guy doesn't miss a lot of bats. He has a high 1.56 whip, and he's faced some okay competition, nothing special, but he faced the Angels. They're terrible. He gave up 9 hits. He faced the Tigers, who, again, have been hit and miss, but they've been pretty decent this year. 7 hits and 6 earned runs to Detroit. And again, when you're not missing many bats, you're going to have some games where it's just not pretty. And it's going to be probably the toughest matchup of the season for him against the Yankees. Yankees offense, how about just coming off a series in Oakland or in Sacramento where they scored 10, 7, and 12? That's right. 5+ runs now, and for the last 5, they are starting to heat up again. It doesn't make sense, but the Yankees have somehow crushed on the road. Last 3 weeks versus righties on the road, they're the number 1 offense in baseball. Number 1 OPS, number 1 WRC plus with a 149. 100 is average. It's weighted runs created plus. The next closest to their 149 on the road is Cincy with 128. It's not even close. Number 1 batting average, number 1 ISO power. They're stroking it on the road right now. 5th highest walk rate as well, so they know how to get on base in multiple different ways. So this team, sometimes they go in slumps, but right now they're swinging it well. It's a decent spot here. I mean, it's just a short flight, from Sacramento to up to Seattle. And then what I also love is they get the 9 guaranteed at bats. They're the road team. So we just saw the Blue Jays come into Seattle, a struggling Toronto offense, and score 6, 6, and 9 runs in Seattle. So it's not. I know the stadium's known as a pitcher's park, but lately, you know what? We've been seeing quite a few runs. So I think the Yankees add to that. Give me the Yankees team total over 4.5 at a nice even money price here. And that's my third and final best bet on the video. Again, I will have added plays. They'll be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. But before we get out of here, let's check out that recap. All right, there it is. My first 3 best bets of the day. Michael King, 6+ Ks, and Padres money line. Put it together for a minus 120 for half unit. Cardinals on the money line for the underdog play of the day, plus 158. And then the Yankees team total over 4.5 at plus 100 for a half unit as well. That's what I got for you. Again, any added plays, pin comments below on X and on Discord. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everyone taking the time to comment and like every single day. Let's get some winners. Hope you guys have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.